What's up, guys? You got Aaron from Team Plays Days here. Today I'm going to be showcasing my 10th place battle building deck that I took to this past weekend at Georgia Regionals. I ended up going X2, losing the last round to Electro Deities. Overall, I had a really great time. I ended up playing against CJ round 5, I believe. I'll get into my matches later on, but my buddy was Friendship Combination Iborg. Chose him as the buddy because you need to be ridden on him to make all you guys size zeros. And another reason why he's the buddy is because when you buddy ride him, you end up getting a total of 6 life instead of 5. So to start off, 4 copies of the buddy, and then we're also playing 4 copies of his set spell, Ibo Academy. Start my turn before I draw. I get to draw an extra card, and then counter call combination Friendship Iborg from my hand or drop by paying 1 gauge, and you move the set spells into their souls. It's like that for all of them. Then we're playing 4 Super T-Titan Sky 3. This guy is probably the MVP of the deck. He's a 12k beater with 4 crit. His attack can't be nullified when he's attacking alone. He has Penetrate, Soul Guard. When he enters the field, I can add a spell to my hand other than Super T Sky Tower. And then if he enters the field through the effect of a battle building, I gauge 2, so he's also your gauge himself for the deck, while making the opponent take that 4 crit. Alongside him, we run 4 copies of his set spell, the Super T Sky Tower. Beginning my turn, mill 3, and add a battle building spell from among those 3 to my hand, and then counter call Titan from hand or drop. I actually play 3 copies. Shimmy Lock on G Gold and S Silver. He's your protector. He protects all battle buildings from being destroyed, including your set spells. Double attack Soul Guard. When he enters the field, you destroy him a monster, and then through the effect of a battle building, you destroy a card. So he pretty much clears the opponent's field while he protects your field. Then we're playing 4 copies of his set spell. You can play this at 3 if you want, but I decided to play it at 4. Beginning of my turn, pay 1 gauge, and I gain 4 life. That life gain really comes in clutch. Then we're playing 2 MST Mech. When he enters the field, next time you take damage, reduce to 0, and then enters the field by a battle building, you draw a card, and then passive ability, all damage you take is reduced by 1. He's basically your pseudo shield in case you either not want to take a lot of damage at one time. Then we're playing 3 of his set spells, because the utility of this card is really good. You discard a card to add any battle building card from drop zone to hand, including the impact, which we play 3 of because I want to see it, because his impact is really stupid. I was able to FTK my opponent twice because I was able to see this card. Swing with the 4 crit guy, and then you impact them at 6 or less life. And then we're playing 2 copies of the Cyborg guy. When he enters the field, you draw a card, and then through the effect of a battle building, you choose a card in the opponent's field for this turn, and the next turn it can't stand. And then all your guys gain 5k power. So you can hit the Electro Deities or MATs when you have a bunch of the shields and souls. And then we play 2 copies of a set spell. Beginning of turn, you gauge the top 2 cards of your deck, and then you can counter call them. For the last of the monsters, we're playing 4 of the Omega Taco Shoes. You kind of have to play this card. This is also another option for the buddy. If you're ridden on a battle building, which it is itself, pay 1 gauge, mill 3, add any size 3 and any spell from them to your hand. It doesn't have to be a battle building spell. It can be a generic spell or anything like that. And we're playing 4 battle building onlines. Your key card is deck, search for a set spell, and then dump a size 3 to your drop zone that sets up he plays. Then 4 of their attack nulls, build combination, gauge 1, gain a life, nullify the attack, and then you have 3 or more battle buildings on field, you get a draw card. Then we're playing 3, it's superhero time. pay 1 life, check top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 hand, the rest go to Gauge. Drop out to Excellence, the super clutch card. Gauge comes in really handy. And because this deck really doesn't matter with being hurt of not being able to draw extra cards all that much, and because we search a lot, we main 3 obstructs. For this regional, this card's just too good not to run. Pretty much all decks are running it. You kind of have to. So that's it for the deck profile. For my matches, I actually had the 2-round bye, so I didn't play till round 3. Round 3, I played against MATs. We went to game 3. It wasn't anything special about that matchup. I ended up taking it. Game 4, not game 4, but round 4 was against another MAT player. I lost that round. Game 1, I kind of bricked it a little bit in the opening hand. And then game 3, we kind of went into time, and then he was just able to get enough penetrate off, and I couldn't stop it. So that was a really good match, though. It was really close. Round 5 is where I had to play against CJ. CJ, he was using God Punks, and he's the only one the whole day that I beat 2-0, so sorry about that, CJ. Love you. But you got in my way, and I had to mow you down. And then round 6
Savage.
is where I did my FTKs against Electro Deities. Games 1 and 3, I went first, and I was just able to FTK them, which I'd never done until then. And then round 7 was against another FTK player, not FTK player, another Electro Deity player who ended up winning the event, Jared. The guy was super cool. I ended up breaking a little bit games 1 and 3, which I'm not really upset about. He's a really cool guy. That match was pretty close still. Yeah, not much more to say about that.
Yeah.
But
Explain the FTK that you did on the Electro Deity. What was the combination that you used?
all you really need for the FTK is you need this guy and your impact. And that's pretty much it. And I guess this card will also help because you want to get his set spell and bring him out with the set spell so you gauge 2 and add a spell to hand. So that way you just swing with this, then you go down to 6 life, and then you usually already have enough of your drop zone to go ahead and activate your impact to go ahead and seal the deal right there.
Nice.
I'll go over my sideboard real fast. I decided not to do Lost World for this event because the deck did not need it. I teched one of each of these in a sideboard kind of as like a tech. You can play him in the main board. He's not that bad, but I decided to kind of try and side him. 3 loyalties because you kind of have to play loyalty this format. 3 skill binders because skill binder in this, skill binder is just a good card, especially against everything right now, especially like MATs and all that stuff. And then I decided to do 2 chest breaks. So I mean, I guess it's kind of a generic looking sideboard, but it did the deal. So anyways, guys, that is my profile. If you have any questions or anything, make sure you leave them down below. Make sure you check out Corey's deck profile. We'll have Mark's deck profile up soon that he got with his 3rd MATs. And other than that, we will catch you guys later. Team Play for Days is out.